away from areas.
Get ready.
Pull her in the cage!
Flip down!
The research facility is... We'll drop you 5 to 10 feet above and up.
Take that. That's your safety. Okay. Are you ex-military? PFH.
1. Launch.
Life to see this. Well, good. Don't.
Hard drives.
Copy that. You got that? What are we looking for?
I need all the files.
On me. Lab 2.
Where? Well, duh.
What are we looking at?
12, Dan.
Got him.
All right, ready to extra.
I want you to rendezvous. Ladies and gentlemen,
There's nothing I can do about it. You need to move.
Rear stairwell.
South store. Copy that.
R7.
Bar 7.
They're surrounding us! Listen to me!
God, the minefield. Cannot waste it. Come on.
No, go!
I need you to do exactly what I say, when I say, how I say. I've got to make it back.
I promise.
Stand by for one. I'll hold him off as long as I can. This is Colonel Forrester.
Viper 1, standing by on attitude.
Pad is up top through the engine room.
Listen up, we need you at your defensive positions.
10 minutes to jump.
Viper 1, copy.
I need you to move. We gotta get to 3.
You gotta leave me here. Take the corner!
Charlie, James, we got white spikes.
We'll get the ones in the ship.
Give me that. Take this.
Go save your daughter.
I go left, you go right. Charlie! 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 Dad! Dad! Light him up! Blow the ship! Okay. I got one! Big one. Get her. Before she... Gonna be a liability out there. I need you to stay.
Head up to the left ridge, mind the horizon.
Dad, she's on the move! What the hell? God damn it. Back to back. You got eyes on her?
Bleeding? No.
Maybe she's down.
You stuck her though. You got her, Dad.
Hey! Sorry, everything. you tell it sooner?
Some incredible
Sources are saying that it has something to do.
Movie summary: The Tomorrow War, 2021. The Tomorrow War, directed by Chris McKay and starring Chris Pratt, is a sci-fi action thriller that blends time travel, alien invasion, and family drama. The movie opens with an explosive action sequence in the future, showing soldiers battling a terrifying alien force. The scene sets the tone for the film, immersing audiences in a high-stakes conflict that feels almost unwinnable. Fast forward to the present day, and we meet Dan Forrester, Chris Pratt, a high school teacher and former Green Beret who is struggling to find purpose in civilian life. When soldiers from the future arrive in the present, announcing that humanity is losing a war against alien invaders and needs more recruits, Dan is thrust into a mission to save not only his world but also his family. The main action kicks off when Dan, along with a group of civilians, is drafted and sent into the future to join the battle against the alien threat known as the White Spikes. The teleportation sequence is disorienting and chaotic, landing the recruits in the middle of a war zone. From the moment they arrive, the action is relentless. Dan's team is thrown into a rescue mission at a research facility in Miami that has been overrun by the White Spikes. The scene is intense, filled with suspense as they navigate through the building, trying to avoid the deadly aliens. The tension is palpable, with moments of sheer terror as the White Spikes hunt them down with ferocious speed and agility. The visual effects bring the aliens to life in terrifying detail, adding to the sense of danger. The next major action set piece occurs when Dan and his team are tasked with capturing a female White Spike, believed to be the key to humanity's survival. This sequence is a mix of tactical planning, teamwork, and sheer brute force. The White Spikes prove to be incredibly intelligent and resistant, making the mission nearly impossible. The action here is fast-paced, with intense shootouts and narrow escapes. Dan's leadership skills come to the forefront, showing his ability to make split-second decisions under pressure. The capture of the female alien is a victory, but it comes at a high cost, with many of Dan's team members losing their lives in the process. One of the most gripping moments of the film is the siege on the forward operating base, where the White Spikes launch a full-scale attack. This battle is a desperate struggle for survival, with soldiers and civilians alike fighting side by side against an overwhelming enemy force. The action is brutal, with explosions, gunfire, and hand-to-hand combat. The stakes are incredibly high, and the sense of impending doom is ever present. Despite their best efforts, the base is overrun, forcing Dan and a few survivors to make a daring escape. The climax of the film takes place in a frozen, desolate landscape, where Dan, along with his future daughter, Colonel Murray Forrester, Yvonne Strahovski, attempts to synthesize a toxin that could potentially wipe out the White Spikes. The action is both emotional and intense, as Dan struggles to protect Murray while fighting off waves of attacking aliens. The father-daughter dynamic adds a layer of depth to the action, making the stakes feel even more personal. The sequence culminates in a heartbreaking moment, where Murray sacrifices herself to ensure that Dan escapes with the toxin, setting up the final showdown back in the present. The final action sequence sees Dan returning to the present with the toxin, determined to prevent the war from ever happening. Alongside his estranged father, J.K. Simmons, and a small team, Dan embarks on a mission to locate and destroy the White Spikes before they are released. The group discovers that the aliens have been on Earth for thousands of years, frozen beneath the ice. What follows is an explosive battle in the alien ship, with Dan and his team racing against time to inject the toxin into the hibernating creatures before they can awaken. The climax is thrilling, filled with close-quarters combat, daring stunts, and a final showdown with the alien queen that pushes Dan to his limits. The movie ends on a hopeful note, with Dan reconciling with his family and finding a renewed sense of purpose. The action throughout the Tomorrow War is relentless, with each sequence building on the last to create a sense of escalating tension and urgency. The blend of high-octane battles, emotional stakes, and a time-bending storyline makes for an engaging and thrilling ride. Movie review and rating: The Tomorrow War, 2021. The Tomorrow War is an ambitious sci-fi action film that aims to deliver both spectacle and emotional depth. Directed by Chris McKay, the film stars Chris Pratt as Dan Forrester, a former Green Beret turned high school teacher who is drafted into a war that takes place 30 years in the future. The premise is intriguing. Humans from the future come back in time to recruit soldiers to fight an alien invasion that is threatening to wipe out humanity. While the concept is compelling, the execution is a bit uneven, but there's still plenty to enjoy for fans of the genre. One of the strongest aspects of The Tomorrow War is its action sequences. The film doesn't hold back when it comes to delivering intense, large-scale battles with the alien threat known as the White Spikes. The first major action sequence, where Dan and his fellow recruits are dropped into a war-torn Miami, is a standout moment. The disorienting teleportation and immediate chaos that follows effectively convey the terror and unpredictability of the situation. The White Spikes themselves are terrifying creatures, and the visual effects used to bring them to life are impressive. Their speed, agility, and sheer ferocity make them a genuinely menacing threat, and the scenes where they hunt down the humans are some of the film's most thrilling. Chris Pratt delivers a solid performance as Dan Forrester. He brings his usual charisma to the role, making Dan a likable protagonist who is easy to root for. However, the character's arc feels somewhat predictable. He's the typical reluctant hero who finds himself thrust into a situation that forces him to rise to the occasion. The relationship between Dan and his daughter, both in the present and in the future, is meant to be the emotional core of the story. While there are moments that work well, particularly in the scenes between Pratt and Yvonne Strahovski, the emotional beats sometimes feel forced, as if the film is trying too hard to elicit a response from the audience. The supporting cast adds depth to the film, with standout performances from Yvonne Strahovski as Colonel Miri Forrester and J.K. Simmons as Dan's estranged father, James Forrester. Strahovski brings a sense of determination and vulnerability to her role, making Muri a compelling character. Her scenes with Pratt are some of the film's most emotional, particularly during the climax when Muri sacrifices herself to ensure that Dan can return to the present with the toxin. J.K. Simmons, as always, is a joy to watch. His grizzled, tough guy persona adds a bit of humor and heart to the story, and his interactions with Pratt bring a much-needed levity to some of the more intense moments. The film's pacing is somewhat inconsistent. The first act moves quickly, throwing the audience into the action with little time to catch their breath. This works well in building tension and excitement, but the middle portion of the film drags a bit as it shifts focus to the mission to capture the female White Spike. While this sequence has its moments, it lacks the urgency of the earlier action scenes, and the film loses some momentum as a result. The final act picks up the pace again, delivering a thrilling climax that ties together the film's various plot threads, but the journey to get there feels a bit uneven. Thematically, The Tomorrow War touches on some interesting ideas, such as the concept of sacrifice for the greater good and the impact of our actions on future generations. The time travel element adds an intriguing layer to the story, particularly in the way it allows Dan to connect with his grown daughter and see the consequences of his actions firsthand. However, the film doesn't fully explore these themes, opting instead to focus more on the action and spectacle. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. After all, the movie is primarily an action blockbuster, but it does feel like a missed opportunity to delve deeper into the more thought-provoking aspects of the story. Visually, the film is impressive. The CGI is well done, particularly in the scenes featuring the White Spikes. The design of the aliens is genuinely terrifying, and the special effects team does a great job of making them feel like a real, tangible threat. The action scenes are well choreographed, with plenty of explosions, gunfire, and hand-to-hand combat to keep audiences on the edge of their seats. The cinematography captures the scale of the battles, particularly during the siege on the forward operating base and the final showdown in the frozen landscape. The use of wide shots and dynamic camera movements helps convey the chaos and intensity of the action, making for a visually engaging experience. One of the film's weaknesses is its reliance on familiar tropes and cliches: the reluctant hero, the estranged father-son relationship, the last-minute race against time to save humanity. All of these are elements that we've seen before in countless other sci-fi and action films. While The Tomorrow War executes these tropes well enough, it doesn't do much to set itself apart from other films in the genre. The plot twists are predictable, and the dialogue can be a bit on the nose at times, making it feel like the film is trying too hard to hit certain emotional beats. Despite its flaws, The Tomorrow War is an entertaining film that delivers on its promise of action and spectacle. The chemistry between Chris Pratt and Yvonne Strahovski adds an emotional layer to the story, and the action sequences are thrilling and well executed. The film's concept is intriguing, even if the execution is a bit uneven, and the visual effects are impressive enough to keep audiences engaged. It may not be the most original Sci-Fi film out there, but it's a fun ride that offers plenty of excitement for fans of the genre. In terms of rating, The Tomorrow War earns a solid 7/10. It's an enjoyable action film with a compelling premise, strong performances, and some genuinely thrilling moments. While it doesn't break new ground in terms of storytelling, it delivers enough excitement and heart to make it worth a watch. The combination of time travel, alien invasion, and family drama makes for an entertaining mix, even if the film doesn't fully explore the deeper themes it hints at. For those looking for a fun, action-packed sci-fi adventure, The Tomorrow War fits the bill.